we get into the really exciting part of the episode, I need to kind of calm down a little bit. So we got to do like a kind of a low key segment, kind of a chill segment, so that we can get into the final segment and I can just bring it home.
Okay.
Because right now, I'm probably gonna get a single, a double. We're gonna be chilling on the base. Might even have bases loaded. But whenever we get to that last segment and I'm behind the plate and I'm ready, looking at that pitch, I'm gonna hit a grand slam, Nate.
Let's go. Let's hit it.
So we understand that now that training camp is underway and we're
Mm-hmm.
having all these camps and everything for new players, rookie players, and like some inexperienced players. We have contract negotiations to go through,
Yeah.
especially players that have finished their rookie deals, that are on the last year of the rookie deal, and they're like, hey, if I'm not staying in this place where you have seen the most success and the most potential and the most progression out of me, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we see this with a couple players, but more specifically, I want to target Packers star young quarterback Jordan Love. I want to target him specifically. I want to talk about what he could sign as a contract. He's on the last year of his rookie deal. He's not showing up to practice, Nate. He's not showing up. He hasn't said anything. When they asked Matt LaFleur to give us like a status on if Jordan Love was going to play or not, he said, I have no comment. I have no idea what's going on through Jordan Love's head. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if he wants to stay in Green Bay. I don't know if he's willing to go into contract negotiations with us. I have no idea. The man hasn't showed up. I haven't talked to the man. So, Nate, what goes on, especially when you have somebody that threw for the second most touchdowns last season with 32, only behind Mississippi State's own Dak Prescott with 36? Nate, tell me what it's like when your star quarterback, who's obviously took your team to the playoff and beat a number 2 seed in the playoffs as a number 7th ranked seed. Tell me what that looks like. Should Green Bay be scared? What's going on, Nate? And then
I
we'll talk
wouldn't.
about Jordan Love's value.
I wouldn't necessarily say they should be scared. But you know, if he's sitting out of practices and whatnot, that means it's business. He wants to be compensated as one of the top tier quarterbacks in the game. I'm not going to even. I'm not going to lie. My personal feelings. He has a reason to demand a new contract because of what he did during the playoffs. What he did to the Dallas Cowboys. Wow. But the only problem with the whole ordeal with Jordan Love, um, we've seen 1 year of him just having. He had an amazing year. We need consistency. You can't ask for, to be paid, be the top player or top at your position as far as a contract, if we haven't seen consistency from you. He had one really really good year, but does that mean that he needs to be paid in the same likes of a Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson? Guys of that proven caliber players and so forth. You know, he has to have more than one good year. He has to build off of those good years. Um, you know, he did have a great playoff game. I mean, again, he literally he brought that team. He willed that team to the playoffs as a number 7 seed. So you don't look past that. But at that same time, I mean, it's a little bit early, a little bit premature for you to be sitting out of practice and demanding a new contract. Because now, suppose they do give him a new contract, they give him top 5 money, and so forth. What if he comes back and has a dud the next year? There's a lot of things that are going to be, the conversations are going to be had, on topics, headlines. Did they pay him too soon, or and things like that. So it's a catch-22. You damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because again, for a fact this team with the new acquisitions to this team, the coming was that Christian Watson, is that the receiver's name? If I'm not mistaken, he's starting to come into his own, and they're developing a rapport. You just signed Josh Jacobs. You're in the NFC North, and you're competing with the likes of a Detroit Lions. We cannot sleep on the Minnesota Vikings or the Chicago Bears. And again, you want to make sure your floor general is signed, sealed, and delivered. Yet again, this is the caveat to it. Paying him too soon, because what if he comes back the next year and he has a dud? So it's a tough situation. To be honest with you, it's a tough situation because if I'm not mistaken, he just signed an extension not long ago.
Well, it would
He's
have to be
he,
a rookie extension, yeah.
hold on. Let's actually look if we can pull that up. Because he did sign an extension, if I'm not mistaken. You know, yeah. Let's go. 25 years old.
I don't know if he signed. He was on his rookie deal, so I don't know if he signed an extension.
You know what? In lieu of exercising his fifth-year option, he signed an incentive-laden one-year contract covering the 24 season, 22.5, covering this season. So it's he's under contract.
No,
He's
he
under
is.
contract.
And am I wrong in this assumption? Like, hey, you just competed. Honestly, you competed for a Super Bowl spot. You beat the number 2 seed, played really good against the
Very
team that
good.
went to the Super Bowl for the NFC. You have to, this is a Super Bowl. You have to build your team to win a Super Bowl now
Yeah,
because this might be the only opportunity you have to win one.
exactly.
Am I wrong in that assumption, Nate?
No, you're right. Spot
Because
on.
you just competed. You basically just competed for one after only losing what 3 points to San Fran,
Oh,
4 points to San Fran,
four
something like
points
that.
to
One
San Fran.
possession
It was
game.
like 4 points.
Yeah,
It was a good game. Very, very good game.
it was. But I mean, we can see what Jordan Love's potential is. We can see what he
Yes,
brings
we
to
can see the
the table.
potential. We see the potential. Okay, but potential, potential and reality. We saw Patrick Mahomes' potential his rookie year when he subbed in for Alex Smith for a couple games. We saw his potential, but then we actually got a chance to see the reality of it that next following year, when his first year being a starter, he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was a league MVP. So potential, reality. We see his potential. We see his potential again and peak towards the end of the year when it was time for them to go for that playoff push. We saw his potential. Then when they got in the playoffs, we seen it. Now again, you build off of that. Again, this is one of the things and one of the tough situations in the NFL when guys, they have great years, and again, you want to capitalize off of that great year. Jordan Love is no different, and he's not wrong. He wants to capitalize off of showing, all the naysayers and the doubters that's saying that, the Packers were going to be trash without Aaron Rodgers. That he came in and he came in, he fared pretty well. He put up some good numbers, pretty decent numbers. But again, let's not get beside ourselves. That's 1 year. We need to see the rest of the resume.
And that's the dilemma with the Packers quarterback system. They let a quarterback sit behind a veteran, and they've done it for a minute. I mean, think back about Aaron Rodgers' rookie deal. I'm sure they had a dilemma at that
Oh
point.
yeah.
When you sit behind somebody for 3 years, you have one more year of your rookie deal, and then you have a 5th-year option. With their system, they have to say, okay, we're letting this guy sit behind somebody for 3 years. We got 1 year out of their rookie deal, and then we have a 5th-year option. Is this something that we are going to risk? Are we going to go all in on this quarterback and say, hey, even though you sat behind somebody for 3 years, you got that one good season, you're going to have another year on the contract. The Packers just have to say, hey, we're going to either invest in you or we're not. Because at the end of the day, it was the Packers' fault that they're in this situation because they decided to have Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay for 3 years while Jordan Love was signed to his rookie deal
Mm-hmm.
without him seeing the field. I mean, that's just how their court. I mean, exactly. You can look back at Aaron Rodgers. They had the same issue with Aaron Rodgers back when Aaron Rodgers was on his rookie deal when Brett Favre was still with Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both of them, even though we see the potential, let's talk about Jordan Love's value. Let's talk about what he can bring to the table. Does Jordan Love have the potential to sign a historic quarterback contract? Does he have the potential to be the highest paid QB in
Yes,
NFL
potential.
history?
Potential.
We just saw Trevor Lawrence sign the highest paid contract per year in NFL history. Can Jordan Love do the same?
Potentially, yes. He has the potential to do that. But I mean, let's go back. Let's go back. I want to go back. Because I don't want to spend too much time on this because we have a lot of stuff
Oh,
that
we have a lot to do. So we need to spend like a couple more minutes.
All right, Trevor Lawrence in particular. Trevor Lawrence. If I'm not mistaken, Trevor Lawrence had number one overall draft pick. He had a Pro Bowl year in 22. It seems like he kind of regressed a little bit, just a little bit. Um, they won 9-8 in 22, and went to the playoffs. He regressed a little bit. Now they gave him that huge, you know, they gave him that huge deal. After going 8-8, this is the problem. Are we paying them too soon? Are we getting enamored with 1 year? Are we getting enamored? We're getting enamored with 1 year when we need to see the body of work over a period of time. Let's see what the body of work is like over the course of your contract that you just had.
I think every single team in the NFL is trying to discover their very own Patrick Mahomes. If
Yes,
you look back at that 10-year, $500 million contract that Patrick Mahomes signed, we were like, is this too soon? We were asking the same question, were we not, Nate? Is
yeah,
this too soon for this QB? That's the same question we're asking now. Obviously, it paid off for the Chiefs. It paid off for Kansas City. But these other teams have seen, hey, Kansas City is a dynasty right now. They are this generation's New England Patriots. We
yes.
don't have Tom Brady. We don't have Bill Belichick anymore. We
We
have
got
Andy Reid
Andy
and
Reid and
Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
So this is what teams are trying to do. Are the Packers going to be a dynasty? Are the Jaguars trying to create a dynasty? You need a quarterback to have a dynasty. You have to have a quarterback like Tom Brady, like Mahomes, maybe like Rodgers, even though he choked so many NFC championships, they still made it
Don't say
there.
that,
I
MJ. Don't
mean,
say that.
yeah, don't get MJ on that. But like, look, they're trying to discover there's Patrick Mahomes, and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But when you sit behind somebody for 3 years, that's the risk you have to take. You either do it or you don't, or you lose Jordan Love and let him go somewhere else. You either love him or you don't.